Hi everyone, I'm back with a reading wrap-up. This is the last reading wrap-up of 2025. So this is December's reading wrap-up. So in this one you will find a lot of Christmas books. I participated in the Literature Winter Romance Land, I think it was called. I did it slightly differently though. I just used what Christmas books I could find that suited the prompt. So some of these are not romances. Yeah. So most of these are Christmas or winter romance, winter books. I think bar one, maybe. Yeah. So for 14 books, 2 are Kindle, the rest are physical. And I'm just going to get started. Everything is on Goodreads. So we shall start with The Christmas Pig by J.K. Rowling. So I've had this for a while actually. So it's about as a little boy who loses his beloved pig toy on Christmas Eve. I love this dog on the back, by the way. And a new Christmas pig comes along, a new pig, and they embark on this journey through this kind of this place called the Land of the Lost to go and find the first pig. Essentially that's what it's about. It's a children's book, but well, not younger, but ish. It's about 9 years old, I imagine. So I gave this one 4 stars. It actually is quite an enchanting kind of story. It tackles deep topics in a friendly and appropriate way. There's many messages embedded into this book, different messages, and the characters work seamlessly. I love the pig and I love the dog. The dog's cute, the pig is cool. I used to have a plush pig that kind of looked like this as well. I don't know if I still have him, but I did used to have one like that. And I love the illustrations. There's several different illustrations throughout this book. Like things like this. That's the wastelands kind of area. So things like that. So it's a very, very good one. I would recommend for children age 9. If there are children's books, I'll try and give you an age recommendation for them. Though I might be slightly off kilter with that because I'm not good at that. Second one I read was Under the Mistletoe with You by Lizzie Huxley Jones. So this is about Christopher and Nash. So Christopher owns a bakery and Nash is a film star. Like a Hallmark Christmas movie film star. And it starts snowing. So this is set in Wales. Is it set in Wales? I think it's set in Wales. And it starts to snow. And Nash arrives and Christopher's supposed to leave his flat. But Nash arrives and Christopher's still there, so they end up snowed in together. And they end up kind of falling in love. It's that classic, like, getting false proximity kind of thing. I gave this one actually 5 stars. This was so lovely, so cosy. A very sweet romance. Nash and Christopher actually work very well with each other. They did have some arguments flutter throughout this, but it was very good. There's some great disability representation in here. My only gripe was the trans representation. Could have done with a slight improvement. It didn't seem like it held on too much, like it just kind of lacked. But it was very good. It's a very good read overall. These are very short reviews. Don't ask how I wrote these. Then I read Holiday Ever After by Hannah Grace. I barely remember the synopsis of this one. So this is about a woman called Clara Davenport. And she wants to solve a big problem. According to Jack Kelly, Clara is Fraser Falls' biggest problem. So she wants to solve a problem. He thinks she is the problem. So she's part of the Innovation Creative, which is a toy business. Everything was going according to plan until the company was accused of stealing a doll design from an independent toy maker. She's tasked with charming the locals of the small town to solve the PR nightmare. Jack Kelly would be happy to never hear the name again. At less than a year after the guy in a fancy suit appeared on his doorstep with a sleigh full of promises, the company that once falsely claimed they wanted to sign him in their small business program has copied his design. And so it's like business rivals. I gave this one 3 stars. It read very much like one of them Hallmark movies, but not one of the good ones. It didn't have festive or cosy vibes at all. There's no romance, no chemistry, no spark between either main character. They were very much forced together and it just felt rushed. Not one of Hannah Grace's best books. Then, I need to show you something as well, by the way. Look at these cute little embossed stamps I've gotten now. So, I have these now. I emboss my books. The ones I'm keeping, so... yeah, they're adorable. Anyway, I just thought I'd show you that. The next one I read was A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens. Do I need to give you guys a synopsis of this? Has everyone watched Muppets Christmas Carol? If you've not, because that's one of the best versions. If you've not watched A Muppets Christmas Carol, watch that one. Then you need to watch, I said the musical version. That's a good one, the 1970s musical version. And then watch the 1951 black and white version, because that's amazing. Those are the 3 I recommend. And Scrooged. Is it called Scrooged? With Bill Murray. That's another good one. Anyway, I'm just giving you my... I've read a Christmas Carol myself out in December. Either way, this is about an old man called Scrooge. And he's got no friends, he's got no family. He's miserable, he's bitter. And he runs a business. He's a businessman. This is going so nuts. And he gets visited by a ghost of his old business partner. Or the ghosts of his old business partners, if you're watching The Muppets Christmas Carol. And they tell him... well, he tells him that he's going to be visited by 3 ghosts. The ghost of Christmas past, the ghost of Christmas present, and the ghost of Christmas yet to come. Or the ghost of Christmas future, depending on what you read. And they're going to teach him how to love Christmas. Basically, that's that. Either way, this is a 5-star. I love A Christmas Carol. It's a brilliant classic. I think everyone needs to read it at least once, but everyone does need to watch it every year. I think it's amazing. It's just infused with Christmas spirit, Christmas tradition. I think Dickens is an exceptional writer. Well, exceptional storyteller. Writer that could, depending on what he's written, because he is a great writer, don't get me wrong, but of course it's Victorian writing, so it does depend. But he's a great storyteller either way. But yeah, you don't need to explain that one. Really. Then I went to Christmasaurus, The Christmasosaurus and the Winter Witch by Tom Fletcher. I read the first one last year, and loved it. So, we're back with the second one, and the third one, and the 4th one, because I read the rest of the series and I couldn't help myself. So this one's where they go on a different adventure. So they go back to the North Pole, and they go meet the Winter Witch who has the power to freeze time. And that's all I'm giving you. So these books are set age about 9, maybe 9 years old, 9 to 12. Maybe they could read them a little bit younger. There is a picture book version of A Christmasaurus. The Christmasaurus. It's so hard to say. The Christmasosaurus. Such a hard word. Yeah, I say about 9 years old. So this one is actually very magical, very whimsy. He's so cute. He's such a cutie pie. He's creative. There's so much Christmas spirit that he holds inside these books. They're very quick, engaging reads, but Brenda, I tell you, is the most annoying character on the planet. I don't think I've met a more annoying character than Brenda at this point. And this isn't a children's book, and she annoys me more than any adult fiction character I've met at this point. How she got to be on the nice list, I don't know. She just annoys the hell out of me. That's my one gripe. That was a 4-star. Then I moved on to Fake Skating by Lynn Painter. So this is about Danny and Alec. They are they were childhood sweethearts, and then they became sworn enemies. So Danny has to move back to Minnesota. So her father is like he's either in the Navy or the Army. He's one of the two, and they move around a lot. So she ends up going back to Minnesota with her mum to live with her grandpa. And so her grandpa's like this famous hockey star. Alec used to be very nerdy, but now he's become like the hockey jock. And they end up in a fake dating relationship. That kind of thing. So, I gave this one a 4-star. I actually enjoyed this. I kind of enjoyed it a bit more than Better Than the Movies. I actually enjoyed Better Than the Movies, to be quite honest, because I'd never read it again, but I would like to read some of the others. There was fun moments, happy moments, and heartbreaking moments. There was a lot going on in this book. Danny is perfectly written. It's not often I connect to female characters, but she was one I would give the exception to. And I absolutely adored Alec. Alex? I've put Alex in here, but it's Alec on here. Don't ask what I've done. He was sweet. He's very sweet with her, and she definitely brought out his softer side. He is a very good book boyfriend. If you're looking for a new book boyfriend, I think this is young adult as well. I said that in my haul. This is a young adult romance. I now officially know that. So there you go. This is going like my old reading wrap-ups. Hetty Feather's Christmas by Jacqueline Wilson. So, I'll tell you a story before we begin with this one. When I was I in high school? Yeah, when I was in high school, the CBBC series Hetty Feather was released. I watched the heck out of that damn thing. I loved it. Then I read the first book, the second book, the third book, and possibly the fourth. I think I got to Diamond. Little Star, Rose Rivers and Clover Moon and Dancing the Charleston weren't even out there. That's how long ago this was. And I never could continue the series. I never finished it. This wasn't even out then, actually. And then I decided one random day, I think it was last year, to buy it. To buy the whole series in hardback. Buy Dancing the Charleston, because that's paperback and that kind of irks me a little bit. Because I really want to reread this. So I thought for Christmas I would read Hetty Feather's Christmas. So this is where she gets a gift from her mother. Which sparks a bit of jealousy between her and... Oh my god, what's her name? That annoying twit. What annoying... Sheila. That annoying twit. Sorry, she was annoying. I did feel sorry for her in the end though when I was watching the show, but she was really annoying. And Matron locks her in the chokey kind of area, the attic. I suppose you can class it as a chokey. And then she gets found by oh my god, that woman's name. Okay. Things failing me. Names are failing me. Miss Smith. Names are failing me at this point. And she gets taken to this middle class house to have Christmas. This was very Christmassy. I reread this every year actually on Christmas. I actually enjoy it. It has overlap with the other books in the series, which was really cool. And I'm excited to actually reread Hopefully that'll be this year's, 2026's deal. It has definitely been years since I read Hetty Feather. There's so much contrast as well between, like, the middle class and the family hospital in this. You get to see the difference. This is so sun damaged as well, because it was on the other shelf and it faced the window and it got damaged. And it's nice to see how Hetty deals with all of that too. But this is weirdly nostalgic. And it shouldn't be, but that was a good 4-star read. It makes me feel old, that one. Then I read Good Spirits, which I should have brought my physical copy that I've just bought, because I really loved Good Spirits over here, but you'll see that in a haul, so don't worry. So Good Spirits by B.K. Morrison. You might remember I read Love Like Farms and hated it. But I enjoyed this one. I gave this one a 5-star. So this is about, you guessed it, a Christmas Carol. Yeah, I got very A Christmas Caroled. So he is the ghost of Christmas Past. This is Nolan. And, well, she's kind of screwed, but not. So he has to... So he spends the Christmas haunting. He wants to get in, get out, and kind of do his thing. But he gets assigned Harriet. She's kind of not a Scrooge, but it's like... She's a good person, or she tries to be, but she's actually a people pleaser. Which is why they go through her past kind of thing and realise there might be more to moving on than expected, and then he has like a deadline for Christmas Eve. It's a really sweet romance. I really like Nolan. It was adorable. It was cosy, it was romantic. I love the tropes were executed properly. And Nolan and Harriet are just a great couple. I can't wait to see what she does with the rest of it. Then I read Merry Inkmas by Talia Hibbert. So this is about a tattoo artist who's been watching this geeky girl called Bailey Cooper. He's called Cash. He thinks she's too smart, too sweet for him. So he keeps his distance. And then ends up being her boss. So she learned that a long time ago, that men aren't just worth a hassle. So, he's confusing because he's like broody, but he's wanting her. This one drew me in because it's tattoos. This is a 4-star. Because of the tattoos, so like the hand tattoos kind of thing on the cover. I have tattoos. Don't know whether you can tell. You can literally see them up my arm as well. Not the fact that it was a Christmas book. I was just intrigued. You don't often see tattoo artists in romance novels. That's why it drew me in. It was a nice novella. Cash was quite an interesting love interest. He's a bad boy, but it was easy to tell he did have that softer side to him. It was both heartwarming and sexy. It was very well fleshed out for how short it was, but I would prefer this to have been like a full novel. That would have been my preference. A full novel of this. Give me a tattoo. Does anyone know if there's any like books with tattoo artists? Like romance books? Give me some recommendations if you actually do know. Because that'll be interesting. We're back to the Christmasosaurus. This one's the Christmasosaurus and the Naughty List. This one was interesting actually because this was more about the actual dinosaur than anything else. So the dinosaur's going on an adventure this time. So he's meeting the people of the Naughty List and helping them change. I like it says blinking baubles. I might use that. It's a good saying. This was 5 stars. I think this is my favourite. The focus being on the little dinosaur was cute. I loved him going on his own adventure. And seeing how he went to fix everything and solve every problem each child had. And there's so many cute illustrations. Let me find you some. The ping pong ones. There's one of them is a dinosaur. A little friendly dinosaur. He had a wobbly tooth as well. There he is. But yeah, that one was really good. Yeah, he had a wobbly tooth and he kind of lost his tooth and it was really cute. Then, I think the most disappointing one of this one was Baby It's Cold Outside by Emily Bell. So this is about Nora, who hears a song and she transports back to a most romantic week in her life where she went to Italy. And she met this guy called Andrew, and they made a pact to say if they were both single on Christmas Eve in 10 years' time, they'll meet in Grafton Street in Dublin. And I always think of Galway Girl when someone mentions Grafton Street. The song by Ed Sheeran. She's got no idea if he's going to remember, but she's technically got nothing to lose. So she heads to Dublin to go and meet him. And this was a 2-star. This had so much more to offer than what it actually offered. There was no feeling in any dialogue exchange between any character whatsoever. And I'd say her love interests, yes, 2 of them. And the characters didn't fit together at all. The ending was not what should have happened. It was a huge setup for nothing. It was set up to be something it wasn't. It disappointed me, this, because I thought it was going to be really good. But no. And I saved that all year for Christmas. But one I did enjoy was The Bright Side of Christmas by Morgan Elizabeth. So this is about a girl called Wren King. And she's the people pleaser of the town. She goes around helping everybody and anybody. If someone needs her, she'll do it. So this is her first year heading the decorating committee, which she inherited the title of her grandmother. So she's doing like the big festival, and everyone's just asking her to do things without actually trying to find someone else to do them. So then this guy moves in. His name's Adam Porter, and he wants just peace. He wants quiet. He's a songwriter with writer's block. So he's hoping this small town will be the perfect place for him to write, basically. He doesn't like Christmas, so he's a bit of a Grinch. Think, what's it called? How My Neighbour Stole Christmas by Megan Quinn. Think that kind of thing. If you like that, you'll like this. And she keeps decorating his front porch with ample amount of Christmas stuff, and it's kind of funny. It's Grumpy Sunshine as well, if you like that trope. This was a 5-star. It very much reminded me of a Grinch retelling. The character development in this was absolutely fantastic. You could tell, actually, Adam Porter was a very attentive love interest. It cared for Wren and her well-being, and it was actually great to see a guy do that. You don't get that often, and it annoys me when you don't get that. But no, I love that one. That is going on the shelf. And I may reread that next year. Though I may reread How My Neighbour Stole Christmas, because I actually didn't get time to do that. And, last one of the Christmas Thesaurus ones. Sorry, but it's funny. This one is the Christmas Thesaurus Carol. So you guessed it, another Christmas Carol retelling. So, this time, it's told differently. So, William Trundle, who is featured in all 3 books, he gets a little mischievous... All 3? 4 books, sorry. All 4 books. He gets a little, he rolls, he's in a wheelchair, best disability rap ever for young kids. Sorry. Gotta get that in there. He ends up going into this library, and he picks up a copy of A Christmas Carol. And it how do I say this without it sounding really weird? He sets free Scrooge on the entire town. And Scrooge is humbugging everyone and making them not Christmassy. It's like he's sucking the joy out of Christmas. It's such a weird concept, but it was really good. This was another 5-star. Honestly, it was wonderful. it was a real good twist to put on the original as well. The plot points were strong, messages as well, quick and engaging, and a great festive read. If you're going to read one of them, this one. If you're going to, read one to your kids, read this one, because this one's funny. There's even, like, little songs and ditties, and yeah. I recommend all of them, but if you, like it says, have you ever heard of Ebenezer Scrooge, the most miserable Christmas-hating miser from that famous old book? The man who is more bar humbug than ho-ho-ho. Well, what if I told you that he's about to step out of his story and into this one? And I'm afraid he's got some grand plans. He wants to cancel Christmas. Read it, honestly. Even if you're an adult, I think you'll like these. You like Christmas stories, you'll like it. One that is not Christmas is No Strings Attached by Laura Rocker. This is the Rise Like a Rocket series. This has been on my TBR for a few years now, so I wanted to get this one boxed off. So this is essentially, it's like sometimes you meet someone and you know your life will never be the same again. One single moment, fleeting moment, is all it takes to change everything. So, Scarlett Allen, also known as Jazz Doe, in this, she's an orphan, and she was only 5 years old when she met Jackson. He looks like Jamie Campbell Bower, and I can't stop looking at that. She meets this guy called Jackson. Jackson was another kid at the orphanage, and he was 9 years old, I want to believe. And she basically found a friend in him. He got adopted, he went off and became a musician. She got semi-adopted, went off and became an ice skater. Well, aerobics kind of thing, and wanted to become a champion ice skater. They meet again when he's a rock star, arrogant bitch, basically. And he doesn't realise it's actually her. And she doesn't tell him it's actually her. And then the manager gets involved and does a lot of things. She's awful. I hated her. She can go and do one for all I care. This was good. The third act conflict really annoyed me though, because it was the manager getting involved. It's very Wattpad-y. If you were a kind of Wattpad person, I think you'll like this. I never read full Wattpad stories. I was always a one-shot kind of girly. I write them, still do, on the odd occasion. But yeah, it felt like someone had taken their own, like, maybe celebrity, maybe it was a Jamie Campbell Bower fanfiction, who knows? Their own celebrity kind of fanfiction and twisted it into this. I don't know. It was good. It was a 4-star, but probably not something I would read again. It does have pictures in as well, this one. I've never seen a book done like this. But yeah, I did kind of enjoy it. It was one of the ones that I got off Amazon, so if you're looking for that, Amazon. But yes, so that's all the 14 books I read in December. So I hope you enjoyed this, and there is another 2. Do I split that? How many? Another 2, maybe 3 videos, featuring December things. Maybe? I don't know. I've not actually added it up, but I'm now looking. Possibly. We'll go with that, possibly. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed my December wrap-up, and I will see you next time. Bye!